Welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, and we're back once again with another 24/7 news report. We start this news report, as always, with our headline news, and it's big defender news in the transfer window. It is that Rafa Benitez has asked the Everton hierarchy to sign Napoli to defender Kalidou Koulibaly this summer. That's come from 90 min. I don't know what this sort of obsession is that we're going to get a centre-back. I don't think it's a position we need. But Rafa clearly disagrees. Obviously, we reported, and I've read other places that he obviously isn't very keen on Yerry Mina, which is mad because he's had a really good Copa America. And on his day, he's a he's a class centre-back, one of our best centre-backs on his day. Obviously, there is the inconsistency and the injuries. Nevertheless, he's still a fantastic defender. I mean, Koulibaly is a similar type of defender. He's going to be the enforcer, the tall, powerful, and I mean, not so much fast, but just a powerful presence to break up and just be an absolute nightmare for strikers. So you could sort of see this being a bit like for like. I mean, it depends how much Napoli are willing to let him go for as well. For me, he's one of their highly rated players. He's been linked with moves away from Napoli for years. I think United were after him last season. We've been linked with him when Ancelotti joined as well. There's a lot of teams that are linked with him. Every summer it feels like he's linked with a move away and never quite gets it. It looks like he might get it this year. I don't know. Maybe we're the club to drive him out of Italy and into the Premier League. We'll have to wait and see. But for me, it's not a massive position we need. I wouldn't call it a priority position. Priorities are right back, centre mid, and a right midfielder, winger. For me personally, anyway, a bit of pace in that side, on that right hand side, would do us wonders. A right back as well would be fantastic. And then, I mean, just to be greedy, a centre mid would go fantastically. Maybe a backup striker. They're the positions I feel like we're a little bit lacking in depth. Centre backs, we've got them in abundance at the minute. We've got Keane, Godfrey, Holgate, Mina. There's four, and Rafa only plays two centre backs, so there's plenty of switch there. But we'll have to wait and see. And obviously you got Gerard Branthwaite. If we were really desperate, we could stick him in the squad as a youngster. We also have the news that Everton are in talks with Norwich City over a deal for Max Aarons, but they're also in talks with PSV over Denzel Dumfries. Everton want to improve their right back position this summer, and these two are the primary targets. This has again come from 90 mins. We were linked with Max Aarons, and then Fabrizio Romano basically said it's a no-go. And then we went for PSV. I've seen a couple of people online saying that the major thing for Everton is they want Max Aarons, but the price tag's a bit too much, whereas Dumfries will cost cheaper, and Marcel Brands has that relationship with PSV and Dumfries because he brought Dumfries to PSV. Both, I mean, either one I'd be happy with. I think Max Aarons is a fantastic young player. He's obviously got the age on his side. He's got a lot of potential. He's fantastic going forward. I think he's definitely one of probably is going to be England's right back in the next 6 years. He's a really great talent. But I understand that he's going to be expensive, and he's English, so you can whack on the English tax as well. So, here or there on that one. Denzel Dumfries has been fantastic. I'm a big fan of his. If he's cheaper, then, I mean, it makes sort of sense. He's 25, so he's not too old either. We'll have to wait and see on this one. Either one I'll be happy with. There's no loss here for me. If we get Max Aarons, fantastic. If we get Dumfries instead, fantastic. You're not going to hear me moan, oh, we should have got the other one, because both are very, very good players. Like I said, the only thing that I can see is that, obviously, Max Aarons does have youth on his side, but we'll have to wait and see with that one. We also have the news coming from Fabrizio Romano, the man himself, that there are many rumours about Real Madrid and Richarlison, but so far there's been no offer. Carlo Ancelotti loves Richarlison, but has not initiated negotiations to buy. This will be linked throughout the summer. I think this is going to be our transfer saga of a player leaving all summer. This and Moise Kean, who we'll get onto in just a little while. But yeah, I think this will be one of them. I hope Richarlison doesn't go. I know a couple of you said you hope he does. In the comments, I do read them. I think he's a good player. I've said it before. I think he's competitive, and I don't think that's a bad thing to have in your team. I saw a lot of you saying, maybe if you got rid of him and buy someone else. not many of you were keen on St. Maxim, who's rumoured yesterday, and that's fair enough. I don't think he is. St. Maxim is a like for like. I think St. Maxim is a downgrade from Richarlison. I'd be very disappointed to see him go. They would have to offer us a lot of money though, and that's a lot of money we could buy smartly in and get another right winger. You know, Richarlison's a great player, but he's not the only good young right winger in the world. So it depends on what we'd invest the money in. From a personal point, I hope he stays. I really like him. I think he's got at least. I think he could give us at least another season and see what we could do. Problem is, we promised it him under Ancelotti. He's a player with ambition. He wants big things, and at Everton, you know, if we're switching managers, you can see he's going to get a bit annoyed. But I mean, under Rafa, he's not been back yet and spoke to Rafa Benitez. So, you know, there's a lot going on here. He's not even spoke to the new manager properly yet. You know, in training and trained with him. He might want to stay another year after that. You never know. That does have an influence on players staying once they've met the manager in person and, you know, spoken about ideas. Moving on to Moise Kean, Juventus are interested in ambushing PSG's move to sign Moise Kean, according to Le 10 Sport. The Italian international side spent last season on loan at PSG, and the French side are looking to rent his services again. However, Juventus want to reignite the deal and bring him back to Juventus. Obviously, he came from there. Everton bought him from there. If they're going to offer us money, because there's no buyback clause apparently, then I can see Everton taking that. I think he would want to go back to Juventus as well. I don't know, because there was that racism problem, and Bonucci really poorly didn't side with Moise Kean. Really, really poor from Bonucci. Absolutely silly to even suggest it was, you know, 50-50. It's not. But I don't know if that still affects Moise Kean. You know, I don't know if that will affect it, or, you know, if he decides that Juventus are a big enough club that he wants to go back to. We'll have to wait and see on this. I do think, though, if they offered us money, Everton would accept it, just because the player obviously doesn't want to stay at Everton and Everton want to make money back on him. We also have the news that Everton's friendly against Manchester United has been updated. It will now be a 12:45 PM kickoff. It was originally scheduled for 5 PM. But the trip to the Premier League rivals United is set to conclude Everton's preparations for the season. They are going to travel to the US for a month in the Florida Cup next week, where they will face Millonarios from Colombia in their first game. I don't know why they've changed the time. I don't know if it's just, you know, easier. I don't know, but they have changed the time. I don't know why. I find it a bit weird with playing United, because we're guaranteed to play them at least twice this season. Knowing our luck, we might get them in the cup, so there's potentially 4 times, and this. I assume I was going to assume it's COVID, but obviously if we're going to the US, I don't know. I just think it's really odd to play a team in your league in a friendly. I think it's a bit mind-blowing. And I thought we'd have played, you know, like a Blackpool or something, you know, local-ish clubs, northwest-based clubs that aren't in the same league as you. But we'll have to, or like even like Tranmere. We played Accrington, Tranmere, you know, something like that. But we'll have to wait and see what the club decides on that. Well, not what they decide is happening, what the logic was behind that, because I personally find it a little bit strange. Yeah, I just find it a bit strange, but you guys might disagree. That is all we've got time for today, though, so don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and comment down below on everything that we've discussed on this video. Do you think it's weird we're playing United when we're going to play them at least twice in the league, and that's a guarantee? Richarlison to Real Madrid, do you think it's got legs, or do you think it's just paper talk? And don't forget to let us know about all the stuff that 90 Mins have been recording. You know, would you take Koulibaly at Everton? Do you think he'd fit the Everton mould? Do you think we need him? And let us know, more importantly, who would you prefer, Denzel Dumfries or Max Aarons? It's a very interesting debate, because both are very good players, very good right backs. But yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My link is in the description down below. Same with the Toffee Blues. And most importantly, guys, take care.